Natural Resource Committee. I'm Brenda Jorgensen, and I was appreciative of Representative Roosevelt's comments about White Earth Valley. We live on the north end of that White Earth Valley. And we moved to the Box J Ranch in 1975 to continue the farm and the ranch in the White Earth Valley that Richard's grandfather started. Most people can go home and feel safe. I want to tell you what it's like living 800 feet from the oil well. I'm just one of many farmers and ranchers who are dealing with this. It's my sincere hope we can do better. And I'm not sure if it's in the bill, but in the statements that I heard, it talked about homeowners. And our home, it is 800 feet from the well on our neighbor's land. And our neighbors are very close to a well on our land. So, you know, it's not just the homeowner's issue, or the landowner's issue. So, I'll get through this. On our way to church on Sunday, it was in April of 10th of 2011, we saw a man on top of the frac tanks at the location, which is a half a mile west of our house, holding a yellow hose, pumping from a chemical crate on a flatbed truck into the frac tanks. While we were out for an evening walk on that same day, Richard and I encountered strong chemical smells from the location a half mile west of our house. We learned later that our granddaughter, who was 6, couldn't stop coughing after checking out the spring runoff with us on the four-wheeler earlier that afternoon. So the next day, on April 11th, I was very careful to check the wind before I went out for a walk. When I returned home, my eyes were burning and stinging, and my voice was very distorted and scratchy for over 2 hours. That evening, our son-in-law came over to our house and was in the yard rubbing his eyes, complaining and wondering, what's this from? There was no obvious smell that day, but there were obvious reactions. Well, we now live next to a location that is unconfirmed to be 800 feet from our house. That means the wellhead is 800 feet away, which allows all the frac tanks to be much closer to our house, and all the chemical trucks loading the frac tanks are that much closer to our house. Because of those reactions I just mentioned above, we're very leery to be outside. We loved the outdoors. We used to cross-country ski and snowshoe in the winter. Even on a day like today, I would get out there. Walking is not even something I can enjoy. I always check the wind, but the North Dakota wind switches, and then we've been caught up in some foul fumes. This year the winds have been predominantly from the south-southwest, which is the direction of the location closest to my house. The flare on the first well drilled within 800 feet from our house has gone out several times, 6 times that we know of. 2 of those times was very disrupting and very scary. On Saturday, the most recent one was Saturday, August 25th of 2012. The house was full of gas when we returned from a funeral of a dear friend. The flare was out before we left in the mid-morning and was still out 4 hours later. Who do we call? What do we do? I got the horses moved out of the pasture right after making several calls. We were not given any emergency numbers. On May 23rd, 2012, I wrote, the flare was out during the night. I was up since 3 a.m. because the strong propane smells in the house. Todd Peterson in the State Health Department Air Quality was called. He will talk to Petro Hunt, LLC, about location 20975. That flare's been out 3 times, and Richard has called Petro Hunt about that each time. I've had a sore throat for a week now. Well, on February 4th, the whole valley was full of sulfur smell when we came home in the dark, and it was foggy. And when I reported that, I was asked, where is it coming from? And on February 4th, 2012, there was a terrible smell, like someone was giving a permanent in my house. But was nobody giving her permanent in my house. And it was like ammonia. They were fracking, or they were preparing to frack. On October 31st, 2012, the past 2 days, the air outside the patio door is foul and has a strong diesel smell, is what I'd written. The vibration from drilling is felt in your body. It's right in your soul. It feels like you're at a concert where the bass is way too loud. Sometimes my ears just want to be held tight. It's very unnerving. On January 7th, 2012, our grandson, who's only 5, and our granddaughter, who's 7, told us they'd been waking up in the night and not being able to sleep. And our grandson said, I can hear it and feel it. It feels like a truck in my bed, shaking my bed. The rumble of the frack trucks is heard and felt all day, all night, on all levels of the house. That affects all the neighbors along the way, though, too. The school bus driver brought her granddaughter to our house after school, and on her way out, she reported a semi and tanker pulled off the location at the end of our driveway and nearly ran her over. I asked to be notified of chemical activity so as to protect our health and that of our neighbors and the wildlife and our herds. I asked for air monitoring equipment again and again. I've asked for disclosure of the chemicals used. This is just too close. There's more, always is. And I'm a member of the Dakota Resource Council and the Northwest Landowners, and I recommend a due path.
Any questions for Ms. Jorgensen? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Further testimony in support of House Bill 1348.